Welcome back to Hunk-N-Junk, everybody. I'm Ronnie. If you remember me, I know I've been off for quite a while now, a couple of months. I've taken a little bit of time off and yeah, I kind of ran out of toys. And the last video I made, let me start off by saying the last video I made, the Turner pickup truck, I lost the rest of my footage when I finished it and I had to ship it off to Europe. And I wasn't able to make the video, to finish the video, unfortunately, but there'll be another one coming. And that one was just kind of a spur of the moment deal. I wasn't able to get it finished, and I finished it, I just lost the footage. But anyway, so we're back. This month is Hayes Days. I don't know if you remember from last year, whenever we done the Hayes Days build in March. It went the entire month of March. A lot of guys in the Facebook Hunk-N-Junk Builders group built some really cool stuff, made a video, put it out on Facebook and on eBay or YouTube, and it actually done really good. And that's where we're at now, and I figured I'd start my channel back off and kick it off by doing my Hayes Days build on the channel. And what I got in store for you guys is really, really special. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Here we go. Are you ready for something special? Man, I've got something really good for you guys planned. A 1934 Cor Cor Graham. Oh, what do we got? Oh, how cool is that? And it's not just any Graham. It's a Deluxe. It's got the headlights and the tail light. As you can see, the front is broken. The axle perch. So I got a part. I've seen a picture of one, and it looks like a little channel that comes across here, and then the ends is folded up and the hole goes through for the axle. Similar to this piece that I robbed off of a road grader. I'll probably have to trim this down some, and I'll have to cut this out, but they're gonna stick out right up in there. Maybe not. That's kind of wild. Anyway, we'll figure out something for that. That's easy. First things first, let's get this thing taken apart. So, let me get started on that. Y'all want to watch? I figured you did. Let's get started. Alright. Please forgive me about the funky camera angle. My tripod just broke, so I'm making do with some pieces and parts I got stacked up to hold the camera. So, let's get this thing going. I can't see my screen, so don't get mad at me. So I'm guessing the first thing I need to do really is just to take this thing apart. I've got a few tabs, and let's get our tools. So looks like I got a couple right here. Boy, them ones are in there good. Somebody hammered those. Well, that tab broke. Let's see if we can break this one too. Alright, so we got our tabs all bent. Let's see if we can get her apart without tearing it up anymore. Guys, a lot of this older stuff, you kind of want to jiggle, just do it as gently as you can. Try not to break off them tabs. I know I've broken one already. There we go, Papa! Alright. Now we got him all apart. Got our body off. Alright. So the first thing I'm going to do, excuse me, safety glasses. Safety first, always, no matter what. No matter if you're using a wire wheel, grinder, anything. wear your glasses, man. It sucks getting metal in your eyes. It hurts. It hurts bad for days and weeks. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grind these heads. They're kind of beveled all the way around, which you already know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of put a flat spot on both of them heads so that whenever I drill them, my drill bit don't slide off. I'll do that down here, so hopefully you can see. Let me turn that thing down. See what I mean? I don't know if you can see that, but I just kind of put a little flat spot on the head of that rivet. Let me do this other one. Now, should be able to put that right in the middle of that. And this is what we got. If you can see it, I know the light ain't very good. I'll take care of that real soon. I've got some new lights. I'm just waiting for a new camera. So, problem with this switch is, you can see, oh, we got her going. We got her to moving. Yes. So, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull them little tabs back, see if I can get this little piece of cardboard or whatever off of there, maybe clean this switch up inside. And then I'm going to go try to find some screws that'll fit the little holes so that whenever I wire it back up, it'll be all nice and pretty. But that's a good sign right there that I was actually able to get the switches going. So, let's take this thing apart and see what we got. So, I don't really use small tools. I'm literally, you know, I'm not quite right. You know, my mind ain't right. So we're going to put this in there. You can see, I got little tabs. I got one there and there, and here and here. So I'm going to try to bend them back over and see what's hiding under this thing right here. So let me do that real quick. Let's see here, maybe I can hold that. Come in here. Oh, there we go. I didn't bend them enough. There we go. Ooh. So it looks like there's little contacts in here. And then this little switch. Get my big old fingers out of the way. Honestly, it don't look that bad. Excuse me. I think it just needs cleaned up a little bit. What do you think? The contacts look really good. They're still nice and shiny. The spring is still in there holding them down. This piece right here isn't bad. I could probably clean up them diodes right there. But I think I could fix this switch and just rewire it. It looks like it'd be a very simple rewiring operation. So let me do that. Let me get this switch all cleaned up and everything. And we'll put it all back together and we'll move forward. Okay. So I took a second. Went and got me a few Dremel attachments here to kind of see which one is going to work the best on all my little parts. So let's see here. I think I got my sanding wheel on there for now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit this little piece and try to clean it up a little bit real quick. I got my safety glasses on. You need them. I don't know, I don't want my fingers that close. So we'll just hold them with that. Okay, see how this goes. Yeah, I think that'll work. It's pretty clean. Now let's get this little piece here. See that? I'm going to turn my speed way down on that. Those two little points on this piece is about really the only parts that really count. They're the ones who make the power and transfer the power from side to side. So we got them good and clean. Where'd my spring go? I had a spring. Oh hell, there it is. You got to keep track of your little stuff. Put that over there. This, I'll probably just wash that in the sink. So I'll just put that there for now. This is the part that I need to be extra careful on, I think, because this is like a paper, cardboard type of substance. So I don't think it'd be a good idea to use this wire wheel on this stuff. So that might get in there. Problem is, that's a pretty hard grinding stone, and I don't want to. So maybe I'll just clean them with my fingers. Let's see if we can get them good and clean. Hey. Hey, that made a pretty good little difference. Let's try this bottom one. How's that? Getting there. A little bit more. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Where's my pliers? I need my pliers. These will work. Bend them on straight. Like so. Now, looking at this switch, this is a very simple setup here, and I truly can't imagine there being a problem with this switch. It's such a simple thing. That's why I'm just going to slap him back together. You know, sometimes you take them apart, they got all kinds of crap in there. And let's see here. There we go. Now, how do I bend them back over without tearing them up? A lot of little things you got to think about. Now I'm going to switch around here and do this side. There we go. Let's get that in there. Flip it back over. Let's go ahead and get this last one. Oh yeah. Nice and smooth. Now I can put this to the side, go to the hardware store, get me a couple of screws that'll fit in there. Those are threaded. A buddy of mine sent me a picture of his switch, Adam Clayton, and showed me how this kind of works, or showed me how it's supposed to be wired and all that stuff. And here's a picture of that. And so yeah, so I think this is good to go. It's working pretty good now. So I'm going to put this to the side. So we got that good. Get rid of all this crap. Alright, let's move forward. Next thing I'm going to fool with is the wheels and the axles. Now these toys, the way these axles are made, I guess back in the day they pressed this little cap on the end of the axle. So it goes on your wheel, goes through your wheel, holds it all together real nice and pretty. You know, it's got a little logo in the end of it. I mean, I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, looks real nice and pretty. Problem is, getting that cap off is probably about as impossible as a task as you'll find. I would assume that heat may work, getting that off. Heat the axle up, it expands, and usually it'll pop off, but man, I just don't know. I might try that, but I think for right now, what I'm gonna do, I went and got me some brake line. It's not quite, doesn't quite fit in there, but I think if I straighten this out, bevel the end of this, get it all nice and cleaned up, and maybe run a drill bit, you know, cut me off a length, run me a drill bit through it, that way I can make this fit in it, and then splice the axles together after you put the toy together. It kind of makes it difficult maybe getting these back on the new axle if I take one off, because it may not stay. I think if I just do this for the time being, and then whenever I'm done, I can clean these up and maybe take it over to my neighbor next door and sweet talk him into welding them together for me. But I think for now, I'm gonna clean these all up and use a brake line to splice them together. And but there's one other thing. My good friend Vince Willard, he bought one of these toys a while back, and he built by far the nicest CorCor that's ever been done by anybody. I promise you, you'll never see anything like this. Here's a picture of it. But anyway, he was nice enough when he took his apart. As you can tell, he's got some nice fancy wheels on it, aftermarket wheels. But he was nice enough to send me the old wheels and axles out of his. These two I've cleaned up already. These two I've not. Best thing to use that I have found, acetone. Pour some on your rag, and it takes a minute, but you just got to scrub it. But after scrubbing for a few minutes, let that soak on there. You see, it's kind of trying to start taking some of it off. This doesn't hurt the wheel. You can see it's nice and clean. It's not tacky. It's not peeling apart. You know, a lot of times when you use chemicals on these old rubber wheels, you can take your thumb and it'll just graze that off and start peeling it off on your thumbnail. But that acetone on these wheels is not hurting them at all. Alright, so I got all four of my wheels cleaned up real nice and pretty. A little bit of acetone took care of that. I'm not going to clean up the hubcaps at all. I did get my switch going. Seen that. I did clean up one of the axles because I bought some brake line. So I cut this end off of it. It wouldn't go in with that whatever it's called, I don't know. The way it's flared on the end, it wouldn't go in, so I cleaned it up real good. And now it slides in there pretty good and tight. I don't even think I'd need JB weld. I think I can just hammer them in, and that'll be a real good, nice tight fit, and you'll be able to pull them apart later on. I think that's what I'm gonna do for the time being. But in order to get to this point, I've got to fix this axle perch. So my little tabs, I got one here and here. Let's see if we can't get under them. Keep your fingers and your hands out of the way when you're trying this stuff. Try this one. Alright, took a bit of doing, but I got him off. It's this little piece here. Really weird stuff. So anyway, now I just kind of need to hammer this a little bit more flat, and I need to hit it with the grinder and smooth all that out, so when I put my new piece up, it'll lay flat on the body. This is called a dolly. This is bodywork stuff. Hammer and a dolly for when you have something you can't get to with an anvil. And if you look at the head of that hammer, how it's kind of got a little bit of a curve on it, and you got a little bit of a point on the back. Just a hammer and a dolly. You can get these at Harbor Freight or anywhere. But when you're hammering on metal, you want something on the back side of it. So need to fix all that. That's a little more gooder. Alright, and them tabs turned out, they were, I think that one's spot welded in, so I'm just going to grind it out, clean all this up to where I can get a good spot weld. Safety first. You won't be able to see any of that on there, so. Get your metal good and clean on both sides, you'll get a good contact. Never put that in there. And what am I going to do here? I think what I want to do is close this in where it's kind of got a stop sign shape. I'm going to make it square. So, I'm going to hammer that down. We'll get a nice square channel. And I can make my bend a little bit closer to that hole. Actually, I think what I want to do is, I think that's just too big. It's too tall, too bulky. This piece just had that little bitty lip right there. So I'm going to cut this one down to kind of match it. So on my smooth side, I'm going to put my finger, if you can see this, and I'm just going to hold it like that. That's how you make a straight line. Use this as your guide. Do it again. Trying to hold it where you can see it. See? This one's a little bit lower than that one. But I'm going to use my Gilson shears. There. Now I hit it with my grinder. Don't try this at home. Yeah, that's a lot better. Let's cut this side. Alright, so I got my little piece trimmed down the way I want it. And I think the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and bend my ends. I was just kind of experimenting a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is, it just fits. It's hard to do this one-handed. So, damn it. It just fits right there, just so perfectly. That was my anvil. Falling. So I think what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to pull that out to where the hole is just barely, the entire hole is exposed. Right there. I'm going to tighten him down. Take my little handy dandy pecking hammer here, and I'm just going to peck that over. Okay. Let's try it again. Left-handed now. You see us left-handed, fellas. I ain't left-handed. I'm going to try it. Hold this camera. But the object is to get the entire hole bent. Now, loosen him up just a little. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Come on now. What is your major malfunction? I've already got that one bent. There we go. Slide that over to where it's just barely where the hole is, just barely there. And we can tap him over too. Let me switch hands here. Come on out of there. Ain't real happy about all this shape changing. But there, that looks, from the pictures I've seen, that looks pretty close to the original. I need to straighten that up, obviously. Might be a little bit wide, but that's from what I've seen, other pictures of guys, that's about what the front piece looks like. And judging by the piece I took off, it's similar to that. So, let me clean this up, and I'll have to line that up with the wheels. So, put the camera down and get to work. Here's what we're trying to do. Put this on here in the center. I got my little piece here cut. Okay. Well, I need the hubcaps. Put that in there, like so. I forgot that's got to be cleaned up. So we'll use this one for present time. Put that in there like that. Thing is, I need to find the center. Need to find right where it needs to be so that the wheels will line up real nice and pretty. So I'll put that on there, like so. Looks pretty good, huh? Is that pretty centered up? Can you see what I see? So, let me bring the camera over for you. Sorry. So we got it, I think about right there. It's going to be about right. So now I'm looking to see right where that's supposed to be. So let me get that all kind of held into place. So I went ahead and tacked on my axle piece with one spot weld, because I may need to take it off, and with one spot weld I can just kind of go back and forth and break it off and adjust it wherever I need it, but I think it's going to look good. So let me put the wheels on and put this thing together for you real quick. So I'm just going to go in there. Well, you know what, let's go ahead and put the hub caps on it. Why not? Put it on there. I'm definitely going to need some kind of a wheel spacer. Let's see that. Are you ready? Turn it this way so it don't fall apart. Pull that out there, and it'll be a lot more tightened up. You know what I mean? Hey, that looks pretty good. I think we're on to something. I do. Now, kind of got my front wheel, it might be a little bit forward. It'll be too far that way. Let's get back here and look. Oh man, I sure do like that. Oh, I think it's right where it needs to be. It looks pretty good. Let's check the other side. Now I'll fix all this when I put it all together. It's just mocking it up. It's just mocking it up. Oh yeah. I think it's right where it needs to be. Yes, sir. Guys and girls, I really do appreciate you guys being here and sticking it out this long with me. It's been one of the longest videos I've made, so you know I'm gonna try to cut that back in the future. I didn't mean to go this long, but I really did have a lot to do. You know, we got our switch done, we got our axle perch made, we cleaned up our wheels and our tires, got all that put together, and I kind of went a little bit more in depth on what I had to do to the thing. And I'm not going to be altering the car any, just so you know. I'm not going to be lowering it. Unfortunately, it's just too good of a toy. I mean, some of them you just got to leave them alone, just put them back the way they're supposed to be, and just leave them be. Unless you're an artist like my buddy Vince, then you can just, sky's the limit. I'm not that good. So this is what this is going to look like. Make sure you tune in for the next episode. I'll be wiring in the headlights, the tail lights, and the switch. I'll be wrapping up the axles and everything like that, getting all that in there pretty permanent, and getting the car all buttoned up, put back together. It's just kind of mocked back together now, and get started on part 2 of what I got planned for this build. You know, this is the Hayes days, and the Hayes days build really does mean a lot to me, and I want to make sure that I do something really special. And I don't think there's a more special toy on the market than a Cor Cor Graham sedan. So, you know, I want to make sure that I do it right. And so you make sure that you like and subscribe, hit the little notification thingy for me, and I'll see y'all back here real soon. Thanks again. Y'all have a great day.